You are made of stardust. I know that sounds like something someone embroiders on a throw pillow and sells at a weekend market, but I need you to hear it as the scientific, literal, peer-reviewed fact that it is. Every single atom in your body, the calcium in your bones, the iron in your blood, the oxygen moving through your lungs right now as you watch this, was forged in the heart of a dying star billions of years ago. You are not separate from the universe. You are not a visitor passing through it. You are made of it. You are an expression of it. You are the universe looking at itself through human eyes, feeling itself through human hands, knowing itself through a human heart. And if that does not make you stop for just 1 second and go, well, that is actually extraordinary, then I would like to gently suggest that you have been so deep inside the noise of ordinary life that you have forgotten what you are. And today, in this video, we are going to remember together, because the alignment you have been searching for, that sense of connection, of flow, of feeling like you belong to something larger than the sum of your worries, is not somewhere out there waiting to be found. It is what you already are when you stop fighting it. Now, before we go anywhere beautiful, let me meet you exactly where you are, because I have a feeling some of you are sitting with a very specific kind of exhaustion right now. Not just tiredness from not enough sleep, though probably that too, but a deeper weariness. The kind that comes from feeling like you are somehow out of step with life. Like everyone else received a manual for how to feel connected and at peace and in flow, and yours got lost in the mail. Like you are doing all the things. The meditating, the gratitude journaling, the green smoothies, the breath work, the crystals. And you still wake up some mornings feeling profoundly alone in a universe that seems busy and indifferent and not particularly aware that you exist. Or maybe you have not been doing any of those things and the disconnection feels even rawer and more confusing because you cannot even point to what is missing. You just know that something is. There is a flatness to the days, a sense of going through motions, a quiet but persistent feeling of being slightly outside of your own life, watching it happen rather than fully inhabiting it. And then there are those moments, maybe rare, maybe more frequent for some of you, where something breaks through. A piece of music that makes you feel like the top of your head has opened up. A moment in nature where everything suddenly feels unbearably, inexplicably perfect. A conversation that goes so deep that time disappears. A creative flow state where you lose yourself so completely in something that when you come back, you feel more yourself than you did before. A moment of such profound gratitude that your chest physically aches with it. And in those moments you think, this is what I am looking for. This is what life is supposed to feel like. And then the moment passes and the grocery list comes back and the meeting notification pings and you are back in ordinary life, wondering how to get back to that feeling and why it is not more available, more consistent, more reliably yours. That gap between the flatness and the aliveness, between the disconnection and the flow, is what we are addressing today. And I want to tell you why it matters beyond just feeling better, because it matters in very practical, very concrete ways. When you are aligned, when you feel genuinely connected to something larger than your immediate circumstances, your decision-making improves, your creativity expands, your resilience deepens, your relationships become more authentic, your health responds, your capacity for joy increases, and perhaps most importantly, your sense of direction clarifies. Disconnected people spend enormous amounts of energy trying to figure out what they want, what their purpose is, what they should be doing with their lives, because they have lost access to the inner compass that would simply show them. Alignment restores the compass. And once you can feel which direction is true north for you, everything else becomes so much more navigable. So here is the framework, and I want to give you something that bridges the spiritual and the scientific, because I think you deserve both. You deserve to feel it in your soul and understand it in your mind. Here it is. Disconnection is not your natural state. It is a learned state. It is a conditioned response to a culture that prioritizes output over presence, productivity over being, doing over simply existing. The human nervous system, in its natural, unmanipulated state, is designed for connection. Connection to other people, yes, but also connection to nature, to rhythm, to something larger than the individual self. Anthropologists who study traditional and indigenous cultures consistently find that feelings of isolation and existential disconnection are largely absent in communities that maintain rituals of connection with the land, with ancestors, with the cycles of the natural world, with regular practices of stillness and communal meaning-making. These are not primitive needs we have outgrown. They are hardwired requirements of the human nervous system. And our modern lives, brilliant and convenient and full of possibility as they are, have systematically dismantled most of the structures that used to meet those needs. Quantum physics. And I am going to keep this blessedly simple because I am not a physicist, and neither are most of you, and that is perfectly fine. Quantum physics has given us something extraordinary in its confirmation that, at the subatomic level, everything is connected. Not metaphorically, not philosophically, physically. The separation we experience between ourselves and the world around us is a function of the scale at which we perceive things. Zoom in far enough, and the boundaries dissolve. The air in your lungs was in someone else's lungs last week. The water in your cells has been cycling through the planet for billions of years. The atoms in your left hand were probably once part of a dinosaur, and before that a mountain, and before that a star. You are not a separate thing moving through the universe. You are a temporary configuration of the universe, experiencing itself, and alignment is simply the practice of remembering that, of living from that truth rather than the illusion of separation. Now let us get wonderfully practical, because remembering that you are made of stardust is lovely, but it does not automatically solve the feeling of being stuck in traffic behind someone who does not understand how indicators work. So, here are the steps, and they are accessible to everyone, regardless of where you are starting from. Step 1. Begin with the breath as your portal. I know, everyone talks about breathing. You have heard it. You are perhaps tired of hearing it. And I am going to ask you to hear it one more time because there is a reason it keeps coming up, which is that it keeps working. The breath is the only function of your autonomic nervous system that is both automatic and consciously controllable. It is the bridge between the part of you that operates unconsciously and the part of you that can choose. And more than that, your breath is the most immediate physical experience of your connection to the universe that exists. Right now, as you breathe, you are in constant, unbroken exchange with the atmosphere around you. You are literally taking the world into yourself and releasing yourself into the world with every single cycle. That is not a metaphor. That is biology. So the next time you feel disconnected, before you do anything else, take 3 conscious breaths. Not performance breathing. Not breathing for anyone else. Just 3 slow, full, deliberate cycles where you actually notice the air entering your body and leaving your body. And understand that in that exchange, you are in continuous communion with the living world. That is your portal. It is always open. It is always available. It requires nothing but your attention. Step 2. Spend time in nature with the specific intention of connection rather than recreation. Most of us, when we go outside, are still inside our heads. We are walking in nature while mentally composing emails and rehearsing difficult conversations and planning dinner. And that is fine. It is better than not being outside. But I am inviting you to try something different. Once a day, even for 5 minutes, I want you to go outside and practice what I think of as sensory presence. Not thinking about nature, actually experiencing it. Feel the temperature of the air on your skin with full attention. Listen for the furthest sound you can hear, and then the closest. Look at something growing, a tree, a plant, a weed coming up through concrete, and actually see it. Notice its particular color, the way the light falls on it, the extraordinary fact that it is alive and reaching upward, and has been doing so without anyone telling it to or praising it for it. When you do this, when you actually arrive into your physical senses in the natural world, something in your nervous system settles. The part of you that has been scanning for threats, the part that is always slightly braced, begins to relax. Because nature speaks directly to the oldest part of your brain, the part that was built long before the anxiety of modern life, and it says the one thing that part of your brain most needs to hear: you are safe. You belong here. You are home. Step 3. Practice what I call conscious gratitude rather than performed gratitude. There is a difference, and it is important. Performed gratitude looks like writing your list of 3 things every morning with one eye on the clock, because you have to be somewhere in 10 minutes. It is technically correct, but it is not landing. Conscious gratitude is when you actually stop for just a moment and let the thing you are grateful for actually register in your body. You do not just think, I am grateful for my health. You pause and you feel what it is like to have a body that breathes and moves and carries you through your days. You let the reality of that settle into your chest. You let yourself be genuinely moved by it, even for 5 seconds. That kind of gratitude is not just a mood booster, it is a realignment tool. Because gratitude, felt genuinely in the body, is the frequency of connection. It is the feeling of recognizing that you are held, supported, sustained by something larger than yourself. Every breath is a gift you did not earn. Every morning is an invitation you did not have to deserve. When you feel that, really feel it, you are in alignment. You are plugged in. Step 4. Create a daily moment of stillness that has no agenda, not meditation with a goal, not breath work for a specific outcome, not stillness as productivity, which is a very real and very modern trap that turns spiritual practice into just another item on the to-do list. Just stillness. 3 to 5 minutes, somewhere in your day, where you sit, or stand, or lie down, and you do not try to achieve anything. You do not try to manifest, visualize, solve, plan, or improve. You simply exist. You let yourself be a human being rather than a human doing for just a few minutes. And in that space, something interesting happens. The static clears, the channel opens. And very often in that stillness, you will find that things you have been trying to figure out, decisions you have been wrestling with, feelings you have been avoiding, begin to surface and resolve with a naturalness and an ease that no amount of active effort could have produced. Because the universe communicates in the quiet. And most of us have not been quiet enough to hear it. Step 5. Tend to your relationships as though they are the sacred technology they actually are. Human connection is not just emotionally important, it is biologically necessary. Studies of longevity consistently identify deep, authentic human connection as one of the single most powerful predictors of how long and how well people live, often more powerful than diet or exercise. And at a deeper level, every genuine connection you have with another human being is a portal to the larger connection we are talking about. When you truly see another person, when you move past the surface and meet them in their actual reality, you are practicing the same fundamental skill that allows you to align with the universe. The willingness to recognize yourself in something outside of yourself. So this week, in at least one conversation, I want you to try being fully present rather than partially present. Put the phone somewhere else. Look at the person. Actually listen, not preparing your response while they are talking, but actually receiving what they are saying. And notice what happens in your body when you do that. That warmth, that opening, that sense of something real passing between two people. That is alignment. That is what connection actually feels like. And it is available in any ordinary conversation if you show up to it fully. Step 6. Speak the language of connection every single day. The words you use to describe your relationship with life become the relationship you have with life. If you consistently talk about life as something that happens to you, as a series of obstacles and inconveniences and things to survive, that is the universe you are inhabiting. If you begin, gradually, and with genuine intention, to speak about life as something you are part of, something you are in dialogue with, something that is responsive and alive and on your side, you begin to inhabit a completely different universe. Same outer circumstances, completely different inner experience. So here are some words to practice. Instead of, I have to, try, I get to. Instead of, why is this happening to me? Try, what is this asking me to pay attention to? Instead of, I am alone in this. Try, I am supported in ways I can and cannot see. Instead of "nothing is working," try "something is shifting, even when I cannot feel it yet." These are not denials of difficulty. They are reorientations of relationship. They are the language of someone who feels connected rather than abandoned, and language, practiced consistently, becomes felt truth. Here is your call to action right now, today, before anything else. I want you to go outside, or if you genuinely cannot do that right now, I want you to go to a window, and I want you to take 3 conscious breaths while actually looking at the sky, the whole sky, not a glance, an actual, full, lingering look at the sky. And I want you to say, either out loud or in the silence of your own heart, "I am part of this. I belong to this. This belongs to me." 3 breaths, the sky, and those words. That is it. That is your first practice of alignment today. And then come back and tell me in the comments how that felt, because I am genuinely curious. And because naming your experience of connection in community with others who are also practicing is itself a form of alignment. We are doing this together. Share this video with someone who has been feeling disconnected lately, someone who has been grinding away in the noise of life and has forgotten that they are made of something extraordinary, someone who needs a gentle, loving, and only occasionally humorous reminder that the universe is not indifferent to them. It never was. It never could be. They are part of it. Subscribe and come back every week, because this work, this beautiful, practical, joyful, sometimes challenging work of living as a conscious part of the living universe, it deepens with every conversation. And I want to keep having these conversations with you. I want to leave you with something to carry into the rest of your day, and honestly, into the rest of your life. You have never been alone, not for a single second. The universe that made you from the hearts of dying stars has been sustaining you, breathing you, holding you in existence every moment since you arrived. Every morning the sun rises, not because it was ordered to, but because that is the nature of the magnificent, reliable, extraordinary system you are woven into. Every season turns, every tide moves. Every cell in your body performs 10,000 tasks per second without you managing a single one of them. You are held. You are carried. You are part of something so vast and so intelligent and so deeply ordered that the human mind cannot fully contain it. And all of that vastness, all of that intelligence, all of that extraordinary creative power is not separate from you. It is expressing itself through you, as you, right now, in this moment, in this body, in this life. Align with that. Trust that. Let that be the ground you stand on. Because when you do, when you truly let yourself feel the depth of your connection to this infinite, living, breathing universe, the question of whether you are enough simply dissolves. Of course you are enough. You are a universe. You are the infinite wearing a human face for a little while. And that face, your face, this particular expression of the cosmos, will never exist again. Make it count. Live it fully, and know with every breath that you are never, not for one single heartbeat, alone. Go with the kind of love that does not need a reason, the kind the universe has been offering you all along. You are aligned. You always were.